Folks, I'm Bradford Becker. Welcome to Red Barn Radio, and those of you listening to the live stream, happy April Fool's Day. Those of you who are listening later on, I hope you had a good April Fool's Day. Now, in our 24th year of broadcasting tonight, we present Roots Music Southern Style, episode number episode number 932. Growing up in Sandy Hook, Kentucky, Jonathan Pennington was a part of the Baptist church where he began singing and playing music, old hymns and Stanley Brothers tunes that he still loves today. Jonathan has a powerhouse voice, thoughtful and emotional songs, and a band that can drive it all home for an always growing body of listeners. John's here this evening with that band called Moonlight Mile. Welcome, Jonathan Pennington and Moonlight Mile.
When I was young, life was much simpler. Wasn't acquainted with the pain. Didn't worry about tomorrow. Was a stranger to the rain. Now these years are rolling from many million miles away. Vanished somewhere in a haven. I wish I could have made them stay. Appalachia's where I came from. It's where they'll lay me in the ground. And these hills of old Kentucky finally lay this poor body down. In my mind, often wandering, songs echo through my veins. High lonesome mountain gospel, ancient band sing me away, dear Lord. Years they often haunt, like the ghost of Christmas past. Friends and family gathered all around me. Memories much too sweet to laugh. But we can't say tomorrow, I'll be back into the past. We're only here for just a moment. Make the best of what you have. Yeah, the Appalachia's where I came. In the cold
Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to Red Barn Radio. Wherever in the world you're listening, welcome to Roots Music Southern Style. Thanks to WEKU, Red Barn Radio's official radio partner, NPR for Central and Eastern Kentucky. Listen online at weku.org. Red Barn Radio is supported by Visit Lex, Lexington, Kentucky's Convention and Visitors Bureau. More information on what Lexington has to offer is at visitlex.com. LexArts, Lexington, Kentucky's premier cultural development, advocacy, and fundraising organization, working for the development of a strong and vibrant arts community as a means of enhancing the quality of life in Central Kentucky. Follow Red Barn Radio on Twitter and like us on Facebook. Here's the host of Red Barn Radio to tell us more about tonight's performers.
Jonathan Pennington, the Kentucky native behind the moniker Moonlight Mile, has lived his life in starkly contrasting chapters and seen some of the darkest sides of the country along the way. Reading from his website, Pennington's new album called Northern Lights is a message from behind the scenes of shiny capitalistic politics and godliness, and a testimony from a man who refuses to be told what God is and isn't. Joining Jonathan are these great players here on Red Barn tonight. Moonlight Mile is Jonathan Pennington on vocals and guitar, Asher Pennington, his son, on drums, Joe Bowling on banjo, Trevor Literal on bass, and Dylan Reisner on keys. Welcome back, Jonathan Pennington and Moonlight Mile.
sweet dear, my time, unwind. Oh. I'll never forget, oh, those butterflies. As I sit there on that Greyhound bus, traveling up by 35, and I knew right then and there, their trembling hands, that nothing would ever be the same again. There's no turning back, no turning back. Yeah. And I'm praying like the devil out on the road tonight. As the skies lit up, I know turn light. And I hope that someday, honey, I'll provide a better life. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For you, my sweet dear, my time. Little wife, take me back home, Jobo. That one was called Northern Lights, and this next song is our newest single that I wrote about a little festival that I got the chance to go to here in Kentucky called Laurel Cove Festival, and specifically about Nicholas Jamerson, a good buddy of ours, and went to his set, and it was a beautiful moment. We all stood in the rain. The rain was pouring down all day, and my manager said, "Can you write me something happy?" And I said, "I'll meet you in the middle." And the song's called Dancing in the Rain. Try to smile just a little, try to meet me in the middle. Everything is gonna be okay. Holding hands in the pine grove, no such thing as being too cold. We're dancing in the rain. I got eyes to see, I got my belief. So go ahead and get up off your knee. I've been everywhere, here, there, and I don't care. Truth is, I can't hold on to anything, Lord. Try to smile just a little, try to meet me in the middle. Everything is gonna be okay. We're holding hands in the pine grove, No such thing as being too close. Yeah, we dance in heaven rain. Much you can do, just try to make it through the barriers that get in our way. No matter what they say, honey, you can be anything. Dream real big, 'cause you are afraid to be anything. Try to smile just a little. Try to meet me in the middle. Everything's gonna be okay. We're holding hands in the pine grove. No such thing as being too close. We're just dancing in the rain. We're just dancing in the rain. We're just dancing in the rain. Thank you all very much. This next tune we're going to do for you is our next single, which will be coming out really shortly, and it's about two things. Basically, there was a point in my Moonlight Mile career that I didn't know if Kentucky was going to get me. To be honest with you, I love Kentucky, but I didn't know if we were going to work out so much, because my version of bluegrass wasn't as bluegrassy as what we're used to here, and also. I went around to a lot of people that sung White House Road all the time, and it was just everywhere you looked. And I love Childers so much, but it was everywhere. And a lot of times, the people that were singing the Childers parts, they got the White House Road Childers, but they didn't understand the idea of the long, violent history Childers, or the Childers where two men are in love with each other. And that really bothered me. And so I wrote a song. It's called Great Value Childers. Hope you guys like it. It'll be out in April 17th, Asher? Somewhere in there. Thank you all. Hoping that somebody's out there listening while they carry on and on like great value children. It's not even worth my time hanging out here on this old party line. Yeah, I think I go back Minnesota. Come on. Woo. And I know it's slowly killing me. Hanging out here on this road. Yeah, the calling is a blessing, it seems, just as much as it has a goddamn curve. It's just like a gold. It's just like a gold. It's just like a ghost. It's just like a ghost. Yeah. That time to run on again, break my heart into shreds and blown by the wind. Yeah, I'll probably never settle down. No, honey, 'cause that's not the hand I still. Lord, I think I'll go back Minnesota. Hey. And I know it's slowly killing me. Living out here on this old road. Yeah, the calling is a blessing, it's same just as much as it is a goddamn curse. Yeah, it's just like a gold. It's just like a gold. Yeah, 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 it's just like a gold.
Nice job, Jonathan. It's great to have you back on the program. Good to see you. Yeah, hang up that guitar and then there you go. Yeah, it's so good to see you.
Good to see you, man.
It's been a while, and
It has been.
and especially fun to see you up here with your kid on the drums.
Man, I'm telling you, I love all the people that I've got to play music with, and I've got to play with a lot of people in a short little period of time, but there's something special about having your kid on stage with you.
Oh, yeah.
And I've got to spend more time with him than I probably ever would if it wasn't for this, so I'm really, really, really thankful for that.
Yeah, it's hard sometimes for dads and sons to find things they like to do together, especially when the kids get into that 15 and 16 territory.
Yeah, you're not near as
I know
cool.
Asher's a little bit older than that, but
just a little bit.
yeah. But that's it. That's awesome that you guys have a chance to play some together. Well, since you're up here, I'm glad you came up. Thanks for stepping up.
Of course.
Tell us a little bit about how this came to be. I mean, it seems to me that I saw Moonlight Mile. Last time I saw Moonlight Mile was it was when
4 or 5
Lucy,
years ago.
Yeah, it was
It's
when
about 4
Lucy
years
was
ago.
with you guys then and playing with you.
We had literally just began the band not very long, just a few months, I think.
Yeah.
When it started.
But so Asher at that point was probably not even middle school yet?
Oh.
Do you remember?
Well, you must have been 4th grade.
I think I was 6th or 7th grade, so I
Yeah.
was a little older.
Oh, okay.
But I was like 12.
Yeah,
So
okay.
really young. But I started learning drums around that time when Dad started the band, and
And what prompted you to go drums instead of guitar? How'd you happen to go percussion?
Dad when I was like 8. when we lived in Nebraska way long ago.
Oh, wow.
I was like, Dad, I want a guitar lesson. So he bought this Squier Mini, even if you like horrible guitars. And like below a Squier. So
As
it's
if, you mean as if to discourage you from playing
yes,
guitar?
if it says as if to discourage you.
This is all part of my plan. I will say, I'll admit now. This
I'm
is all
seeing
part.
this.
I wanted to raise up a drummer, but I never would tell him.
And
that.
I play guitar now, and it's still a hard guitar to play. And so I was like 8, and I was like, this is the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life. And we just got into a big fight, and then he never gave me another guitar
We
lesson.
had one lesson. I said, I'm never giving you another lesson again. Don't ask me. It was it was bad.
So I turned like 5, 6 years later, and we're in Kentucky now, and quarantine hits. Like it's the story, story
right.
you've heard
Yeah, I
many times.
remember that.
So I was like, I need to do something. So we always had like, there was a little toy drum set around our house, and I just started playing it, and I played it every single day, and then you can take the story from there.
And I remember the first, like it was literally, it wasn't much more than pots and pans. I'm not trying to brag on him just because he's my kid, but I looked at my wife and I said, that's really good. Like that sounded, it sounded really, even though it was not much to even play on, it sounded really good.
Yeah. So what was it that you heard that was good, that he understood?
The rhythm, just the idea of rhythm. Like I've always been one of the things that when I started out Moonlight Mile, like I wanted to do a rock thing, but I couldn't find a good drummer, to be honest. So we were like, let's just go bluegrass. And I've drums with what I do. I grew up with Smashing Pumpkins and bands that had a lot, Nirvana had a lot big drums and things. And so I heard those things and what he was doing. And I don't know if you remember this story or not. Whenever we went to see the Smashing Pumpkins, whenever you were in utero with Mom, and we were watching the Smashing Pumpkins in Minneapolis, and Asher, she said, he's just rolling in my belly. Like she could literally feel it just doing somersaults.
Is that the way you remember it after?
No, I can't say. I can't say.
Do you remember what? You remember that day?
It was a cold day in the womb. No, but yeah. So I pots and pans, and I kept playing, and then they got me a nice drum set, and I just kept playing and kept playing, and then around that time, the bluegrass thing was kind of fading out.
Yeah,
the band.
people were kind of leaving, and
it was just kind of ending. And I was like, okay, let's do this. Let's do the alt country thing. And we tried the first time, and it happened. It was like when I was 8, it happened the same thing. It was like, never doing this again.
We got a big fight again.
I hate this. And then, I don't know, a few months later, I was like, I want to do this. And I just kept going every single day until I was good enough, and then we just kept playing. And then we got to where we are today.
And so what were the fights about, Asher? Does your dad? Let's just be candid.
Yeah, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Does your dad have? Does your dad have some anger management issues?
Well, I wouldn't say anger management, but we're both very
opinionated.
Thank you. That's the word. Opinionated people. So it was always like, then we need to do it this way.
I want it this way, and no, but I want it this way.
Yeah.
We're so much alike. That's part of the clash, but it also
Sure.
We work.
That's why we work well together.
Fathers and sons.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just like over like really silly stuff. It was never like worth fighting over.
No.
But yeah, so I just
The song Heroin, which we're going to do.
Oh my
later.
gosh, the song Heroin.
We had to cut it apart and.
Oh my gosh.
Because it was written for like bluegrass and like bluegrass instrumentation without drums, and he had to learn all these drum parts that were like not.
And I'm like 3 years into playing, 2 years into playing, so it was like, well, what's going on?
Well, so hold on. So you had to learn. So your dad sort of prescribed very specific drum. Oh, so
okay,
he didn't
not specific drum parts, but definitely specific ways he wanted it.
Okay.
Like he wasn't like it wasn't like do it this exact way, but it was like you need to do it this.
Because I
this.
don't understand drums enough to explain it that way.
Yeah,
it'd be like
it's like that.
Go like ta instead of
And I mean when you're like an amateur drummer, you're like, what is he talking about? But once you you figure out what he means eventually.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I would think actually, if you were a pro drummer, you would be going like, "What's he talking about?"
I think part about being a pro is understanding people that don't understand.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All the drumming on this new album that you guys are getting ready to hear, Asher did every bit of it in the studio. We went up to
Connecticut, Peacedale Records.
With Greg Griffith and his child Grayson Griffith, who played all the so his child played bass and my child played drums, and we put this album together.
And did you guys get to be good friends?
Yes, yeah. Me and Grayson are good friends. Yeah,
we're going back again pretty soon to do
for a little thing
to do his album. He's gonna he writes music too, so we're gonna go and record his up there.
So how would you characterize your music? You don't have to label it with a genre.
I'll call it I'll call it indie country.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like Phoebe Bridgers, Conor Oberst,
MJ Letterman.
MJ Letterman. So yeah.
His new stuff that we're going to do, like the stuff that's online. He's got stuff online under Packhorse Librarian.
I was on Oprah's book club for it, which was pretty cool.
He has a song that
Featured on Oprah's book club Instagram for the author Ocean Vuong. He really liked my music and got me on there, so that was pretty cool.
Wow.
He was
all right.
listening to Asher's music while he wrote that book, and so then he like put out a list of the songs and Oprah put it up on our website and Instagram and everything. It was really
So
cool.
it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Wow, that is cool, Asher.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited for that. But
Yeah.
this is a Moonlight Mile day. This is
Moonlight Mile Day.
Yeah.
Well, Asher, thanks for coming and talking
Of
to
course,
us. Yeah,
of course,
that's
yeah.
great. Yeah, it's great. Great to have you here, and good job back there. I loved what you were doing with your
Pots and pans.
riding that rim there. More people ought to do that. That's a
Yeah.
good sound.
It's him.
That's a good sound.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a really good sound.
Yeah, it was his idea.
It was all right.
I forgot about
So Trevor's going to take credit for that one. Okay, well that's good. That's good. So how about if we start with a little storytelling
Sure.
that you then will pick up when we come back to talk in
Sure.
a little while. I think that one thing that really kind of interests me, and reading your new bio, to me it was. I was trying to describe it to somebody at work, and I said, it seems like he's kind of gone through some kind of a transformation. It's like there were some aspects of the bio seemed sort of vitriolic, and other aspects of it seemed really joyful and like liberated.
100%.
And so that was cool to read that and think about that and think about where you are in your life right now. But I don't know that I was all that aware of the amount of time that you spent away. You were you're born in Sandy Hook,
Right.
so Eastern Kentucky, but then you spent a good chunk of time in in Nebraska, obviously, where Asher was born.
No, Asher was born in Minnesota.
Oh, you were born in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Okay, and
And-
then you moved to.
And Hadassah was born in Kansas City. That's our second child. And the rest of the three were all born in Nebraska. Selah, James, and Zoe were all born in Nebraska. So we lived all throughout the Midwest because I was doing church music and kind of traveling and doing church ministry and stuff. That's kind of so me and my wife took our kids into all over the Midwest doing stuff like that.
Wow.
So,
So tell me. So you were on like the worship team in these churches.
yeah,
were these
I spent there's a very it used to be a large church. They got into a bunch of trouble, and it's kind of
as large churches do.
Yes, exactly. And
when they get too large.
big place, and we did music there, and I went through this long period of time of trying to, I guess, appease God. I guess I was fighting with myself and with my belief system. And that's what a lot of that bio is. Shout out to Rachel Bayman who helped me write that. She called me up and she wrote that all out, and she listened to my big long spiel of all sorts of different things, and then she wrote all that out.
I like Rachel.
I love her, and she did an excellent job. But it was that I can sum it all up really quick, really, because I was chasing my tail a lot of all of that, and then when my dad died in 2018, we moved back home.
To take care of your dad.
We were planning to take care of my dad, but his mental health had gotten really, really bad.
Okay.
I'd already had to get emergency protective custody. I was on the phone with the court system in Nebraska while they were having court in Sandy Hook, Kentucky. So to get custody of my dad because he had gotten so bad. And so we were already planning coming home anyway, but then Dad just had a heart attack one night, and it was over. So my mom called. If you listen to the first album, the very first of the first album is my mom's call that my dad had passed away.
I did listen to that.
And the last is the last voicemail Dad left me. And so I came home, and
Sorry, wait a minute. So the album begins with your mother's voice.
Yeah.
And then the album ends with your dad's voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. The 34 seconds.
Yep, that 34 seconds was Dad. And so when I came home, it's like I was able to finally kind of let go of that part of me that I kept trying to. I guess basically appease God and like live right, like I thought I needed to live right before God, or how everybody had told me how I was supposed to live in front of God and with God and in all these things. And when I came home, it's like I let that go. And the best music I've ever written has been since I've been after my 40s. So it's like I couldn't write like that before. And it was because I was trying to write for other people or God or whoever. I was trying to make these songs that would fit all these other things that I was in. And when I came home and I laid all that down, I began to write what I really felt and some of the things that I'd went through, and the suicide and the addiction and all the stories that are a part of these two albums. I was able to really write, and the hope, you mentioned the word hope. Yes, through all that, though it was so dark, there was hope in that. Through all these dark things, hope kept finding its place. We were living in a house that was falling in on itself, and my brother-in-law had lost his battle with mental health and left us. So we had this huge missing of him in last March, but that turned into, he left us some money. We were able to buy a new house. So there was just so many things. I mean, the floors were really falling in. If you go look at the pictures that Chrissy Perkins, which is just absolutely beautiful, her pictures that she took of me, were in that old house, and you can see like it's just hard, this wood on the floors, and it was bad. Because I came home thinking things were going to be better, and I ended up running into even more issues because Dad had let the house run down because he was so sick, and so he had this house that I grew up in, and it was built in '96. By the time I got to it, it was like completely, in bad shape, and so the hope was in all that, me finding myself, me healing my relationship with my wife, me healing my relationship with my children, and so though all that dark stuff happened, I was able to come out of it with a different perspective. And so.
Nice. All right, well, that's a good start. So let's get back to some more music, huh? All right, welcome back, Moonlight Mile.
You guys want to take a break? I want to do a song by myself here first, real quick. This song I wrote about my dad. I like to say that Dad wrote this song. Dad had suffered with a thing called schizoaffective disorder, which is basically schizophrenia with bipolar disorder. It's like those two things kind of, the symptoms are kind of a conglomerate of those two things, and that you have the mania and the depression and all that, and you also have the delusions, and you hear voices and you see things that aren't there. And Dad had it way back in the early days of mental health treatment, and the medicines that they would give you, like Halidol, the symptoms would be so bad that they were literally worse than the ailment. Your hands would draw up, you'd have to pace, and my dad was ready to give up, and he went up on a hill on Clack Mountain in eastern Kentucky, up in Round County, climbed to the very top, if anybody out there has been to Clack Mountain, at the very top, and took a bunch of hills and was going to kill himself, and some hunters found him, and they got him off the hill. But as I mentioned earlier, that whole story and Dad passing, this song just kind of came out. I mean, it wrote itself, and I always say that it was like Dad was saying, this is what I want to leave you with, and get you to understand that though my life, I know you saw some hard things, I went through all this stuff, and to try to get me to understand it. And for once, I was like, okay, Dad, I get why, I get it now. I understand all the bad times. You were fighting through something I don't know anything about. The song's called No Heroes. And I lifted my hands up towards the heaven as the voices filled my head, crying, Father, would you offer me forgiveness for the sin I'm about to commit? There's a week's worth of Valium in my pocket, and a note says I'm sorry, but I'm not. And I wish there was another wedding, but I've held on for quite long enough. But the preacher man, he offered me a healing, said I'd receive it if I had enough faith. And all I've ever been given are these voices that are ringing in my head. 'Cause there's no heroes in the story, 'cause the cowboys have all moved on towards life's home. As I sit here and I ponder my childhood, Lord, my daddy, he was nothing but a drunk. And Mama, she really never loved me. And Daddy used to fuck Mama up. And as far back as I can remember, Lord, I've been a little boy gripped with fear, discarded in this Appalachian wasteland, and nobody really ever cared, 'cause the preacher man, he offered me healing, said I'd receive it if I had enough faith. All I've ever been given are these voices that are ringing in my head. 'Cause there's no heroes in the story, 'cause the cowboys have all moved on towards life's home. And as I sit here on top of Clag Mountain, and I swallow this handful of pills, well, I reckon that I made my peace with heaven, and I guess I'll leave my body right here. It seems like yesterday I was playing out in the backyard. Now I'm smoking up my last cigarette. And as I lay here quiet on this old mountain, honey, I don't have one single regret. 'Cause the preacher man, he offered me healing, said I'd receive it if I had just a little faith. Yeah, and all I've ever been given are these goddamn voices that are screaming in my head. And as my life is quickly fading, My breathing's beginning to slow, and as I lay here silent on this mountain, I can finally see the bright lights of home. Thank you. Come on back, band. As they walk back up, I'm going to tune my guitar up real quick. Thank you all so much. That song's called No Heroes. That'll be on the new album. If you come out to the Burl tomorrow night, you get to hear that live. So, yeah, come out for sure to that. This song that I'm getting ready to sing you to is another song that was kind of rough coming out as well. These songs, when you're a songwriter, at least for me anyway, it's like it just comes to me. It comes out, and it's bigger than me. And these were feelings that I didn't even know, didn't fully even understand at the time. But me and my wife were young, and we got married, and we had came from houses where we learned the best we could. We learned how to grow on our own. And I wrote this song for her. I love you, baby. This song's called Margo. I need you to help me. I keep talking to myself, and I keep screaming like the devil. And honey, you're as cold as hell. And I just want us to live better than we've really ever been. But we keep having the same conversation over and over again. I'm a little rough around the edges. Never go down in the garden, beaten by the rain. And I guess it's about time we get to where we go on. So just pull the trigger, baby, and take away the pain. I was raised by borderline mama, was my dad. Sometimes I'm scared, I'm shaking like a leaf on a tree. And the next time, man, doing shit even I can't believe. Oh, I know I'm a little rough around the edges. They're going out in the garden, beaten by the rain. And I guess it's about time we get to where we're going. So just pull the trigger, baby, and take away the pain. Take away the pain, girl. You take away the pain. Take away the pain, girl. Oh, you take away the pain. Yeah. Oh, oh, oh. You take away the pain. Thank you all. And this song is a song that finally gets to be on the new album. We went to record it with a local place, and they didn't release it because of its content. At the time, the world was going a different direction, and I think it seems like in a lot of ways we're still going that direction. But there's also some hope that I've been seeing, especially a few days ago. People were beginning to stand up and beginning to say that they're not cool with the way things are, and I'm really thankful for that. And it's a good time for this song to get released. This song's called "And the Band Plays On." Another small town with nothing to show. Just be a good kid and obey the law. But hateful words ring through the head, bouncing off every church house bell. So you hate the gays and the immigrants, love your neighbor's not important, and get a job or go to hell. I wonder how we're ever gonna pay the bill. And the band plays on. Well, you said nothing at all. Black Lives Matter scares you to death. Yeah, you didn't know Jesus was a brown-skinned man. But this land is yours, this land is our land. Tiny orange fingers held a Bible in his hand. Yeah, you got assault rifle, got the NRA. But you can't believe they're all born this way. But you'll always stand up for the American flag. Well, there's a building full of kids in body bags. And the band plays on. Well, you say nothing at all. And I believe that you can be anything you ever wanted to be. And it ain't no's goddamn business. And your life is really free to be. Another kid's bullied trying to be himself. We're led into a future where ugly dies last. Whatever happened to a helping hand? Where the fuck is my promised land? Well, you get what you get, don't ask for more. And have that baby dirty little whore. Come to church and we'll all put on a big smile. And we'll try to pretend everything is alright. We're all alright. And the band plays on. Hey, where you said nothing at all. Yeah, 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 the band plays on. Where you said nothing at all. Oh, 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 oh. And you said, babe, you said nothing at all.
All right. Hey, before we get on with more music, I'd like to take just a moment to remind listeners that Red Barn live streams both tonight's and on any given Wednesday remain available online for you to view and listen to at your convenience, along with live audio streams, compliments of WGAD.net in Central New York. Don't miss a single episode of our program. Check out all of our content on the Red Barn Radio YouTube channel. Check it all out, all 1,000 or 2,000 videos. Check it all out tonight. Tell your friends and share what you like about Red Barn Radio. And hey, and while you're talking to your friends about what you like about Red Barn Radio, tell them that the merch store is open and they can buy stuff. And I'm not just talking everyday normal stuff. For instance, you don't see these anywhere. It's a coffee cup. You're not going to find that at just any merch store, especially with a Red Barn label on it. This is a very hot item. I recommend that you buy. Zach, seven would be seven would be a great number. So if you can buy 7 for your family members. Jonathan, you could buy 7, and there'd be one for every member of your family.
That's right.
You'd have one for every kid, and then for you and your wife as well.
Bring it
they
home.
can have hot chocolate. You can have
Bring it home, honey.
coffee or another beverage.
Yeah.
All right, and then in addition to coffee mugs, we have some great items, and I just want to thank the production team for providing me with this list of items that we actually carry, because each week I fumble around trying to remember what it is that we have. We have Barn Dude can coolers. Don't we call those cozies? Or
Koozies.
koozies, thank you. Whoops. Koozies, that's what I meant. We have barn dude hats, like lid, baseball lid type caps. We have Red Barn Radio T-shirts, a very, very popular item amongst the students. Red Barn Radio tumblers, and we also have 3-panel fleece hoodies. That's our high-end item. So that's for somebody extra special in your life. The 3-panel fleece hoodie, and then of course we have the heavy blend crew neck sweatshirt, which, like all of our favorite bathrooms, are unisex. All right. So anyway, the merch store is open, and you should come and visit. You can find a direct link on the Red Barn Radio main page, our Facebook page, and on our weekly newsletter. Click the link for a way to support the show with official Red Barn Radio swag. And be sure to share with your friends, won't you? Hey, our next live stream broadcast will be on April 15, because we're going to have next week to do our own thing. And we're pleased to bring back next week, or the April 15th, the brothers Gus and Finn Johnson, who front their band called Low Gap. After 5 years of steady growth behind the scenes, Low Gap is positioned for a massive breakout in 2026. I just know it. The duo recently released their debut album, Geneva. Reviews were great, and that's helped to lift their ever-growing audience to new heights. Gus and Finn, known for their well-crafted songs and animated concerts, have roots planted in Ohio and eastern Kentucky, which show up clearly in their music. I mentioned their album, Geneva, and I know they'll be playing at least a few tunes from that release on Red Barn. That's Low Gap, April 15th. And now back to Jonathan Pennington and Moonlight Mile. Those are some songs you just sang there.
Pretty heavy stuff.
Wow, yeah, heavy stuff. Great stuff, though. Yeah, great. Thanks. They're beautiful, beautiful songs. Hey, and before we, I did want to mention that guitar of yours. That looks like it came from Bakersfield or something. Or where does it come from? From Memphis? Or
this
what?
guitar. So I'm a huge Bryan Adams fan, and also Nirvana Unplugged was what got me into music back in the '90s, and so. They played that on that album as well. It's a Buck Owens 1969 Harmony.
Oh, it is. All right.
Yeah, it's a 1969 Buck Owens.
Come on.
So cool story. I had an old '70s Martin. Actually, the last time I was on here, I played that Martin.
Hey, while you tell this story, hold that guitar
Yeah.
up so
Okay.
people can see it.
Sure.
While you're, yeah.
So last time I was on Red Barn Radio, I played the Martin that I traded for this, and a gentleman I'd always wanted this guitar, and me and Asher talked about it forever, wanting it. Asher as well, and I said, this is going to be yours someday. That's one of the things I want to leave him. But this guitar, the guy, if you look up Buck Owens Harmony guitar on YouTube, there's a video. This is the guitar that's on that video.
Oh.
The guy went to like an Indiana guitar show, and to have it appraised and ask about it, and essentially, when Buck liked you, he would give you a guitar, and if he liked you really well, he'd give you he called it the Gibsons, because early on they made them in the Gibson plant. The early harmonies were made in the Gibson factory.
I didn't know that.
So this was one of the made in the Gibson factory, and it's got two Walter Kane, thank you Buck Owens, right here on the.
Come on.
Right here on the.
It's a metal.
It's like a metal pick guard.
Yeah, I know. It's flashing in my face
Yeah.
when we were talking.
So. And I don't know anything about Walter Kane. If you're a family of Walter Kane out there, reach out to me. I'd love to know a little bit more about this. But so the guy had put it up on Marketplace, and he's like, it's just sitting here, and I'm not
on Facebook Marketplace.
On Facebook Marketplace.
Kidding.
And he said he's got a ton of guitars. Real sweet guy. And I messaged him. He said I've been looking for some Martins, and I had that old Martin. It was a '73. It's not. The 73s aren't near as like the coveted ones
Sure.
are 50s and 60s,
Yeah.
because of the wood change. So I called him up or messaged him up, and he said, man, I see you got a bunch of kids. I see you're doing the thing. You're playing music out, and he's like, I don't have anybody to leave these to, and he's like, I really want you to have this. So we traded straight up. Met in Cincinnati. Traded straight up for this guitar.
Wait a minute. You traded your 73
for the '69 Harmony straight up.
You got a good deal.
This guy's a good friend of mine on Facebook. You know who you are, brother, and. It's been through the war. We played a show not too long ago. The neck snapped all the way off of this, so it was in pristine condition. Sorry, until I got a hold of it. The neck snapped off. Shout out to Gary Cotton out of Grayson. Amazing Luther put this back on. I actually think it plays better after the neck popped off, which is weird. It does feel better. It sounds better since then, but yeah, that's it.
Oh wow, that's a great story.
Yeah.
All right, play some more music, and then we'll talk in a bit.
song's called Headed Back to Omaha. Said I'm finally starting out this life on a clean slate. Just got out of the county where they lock the poor boys away. I'm a traveling man now. That's all I've ever been. Gonna try my best to do these things and stay out of the pen. Clutches her rosary, put all her faith in Jesus and an IUD. Price of living's too damn high, can't afford another kid. And if she's truly honest, she hates the guy that she's been living with. Hey, in a moment she called out in the wind and rain, a Midwestern tornado is gonna blow you away. While the weight of your decision wearing you down, and they place another crown of thorns up there on your brow as the storm rips a hole inside your heart. And we're fighting like hell to hold on, headed back to Omaha. Himself, he'd never feel like this again. Took out Daddy's rifle, stuck it underneath his chin. Thought this life that he's been forced to live in has become too much to bear, so she took finally off the 27th Street Bridge. Moment she called out in the wind and rain, Midwestern tornado is gonna blow you away. While the weight of your decision wearing you down, and they place another crown of thorns up there on your brow as the storm rips a hole inside your heart. And we're fighting just like hell. Hold on, heading back to Omaha. Play it for me, dude. Woo! Yeah. Man, this life piece can be the hardest thing to find. And this life, all you gotta do is just lay down and die. And this life piece can be hidden from us all. And you're hoping against hope the whole house of cards don't fall. Before you know it, it's all over again. No time to look back over your shoulder, my friend. Each life it gets just a little bit easier to forget. Maybe in the fall we'll see, but you never know when you'll be headed back to Omaha. heading back to Omaha. Thank you. The song's called Head Back to Omaha. I wrote it before my brother-in-law passed away, and he was actually living in Omaha, and it was a song about mental health and struggles with mental health, and then he lost his battle. It kind of became a prophetic song. I didn't even mean for it to be. Obviously, I didn't know what was going to happen, but we recorded it like live. That was one of the songs on the album that we could not get, and then the band, Greg was like, let's get it together. Let's just go get a take and go. We'll get to go eat, and that was a take we used. It turned out perfectly. So can't wait for you guys to hear that. This next song we're going to play is a song about sobriety, about fighting that thing that wants to pull us into the stuff to deal with the stuff. The song's called Sober. It's so hard to stay sober when the pain is all you know, and no matter how far you run away, you're still knocking at your door. And all these awful memories keep torturing my mind, and your thoughts are running truth. You're another step behind, and I'll never know what it's like to be content in my own skin. I'll never be that young again, and I'll never know what it's like to be content, and I'll never feel like I'm really good enough to be loved, to be loved. To be loved, it's so hard to stay sober when it's easier to fall. It's so hard to accept that you're exactly who you are. I'll never know what it's like to be content in my own skin, and I'll never leave that young again. And I'll never know what it's like to be content, and I'll never feel like I'm really good enough to be loved, to be loved, to be loved. I'll never know what it's like to be content in my own skin. And I'll never be that young again. And I'll never know what it's like to be content. And I'll And this last song I'm going to do on this set is a song that I wrote after my brother-in-law's passing, and we went up, and me and Asher did, and recorded this song up in Iowa, and it never got released in the video. I put it out a little bit myself on the anniversary in March, but I wrote this after he passed. It's called The Beautiful Parts. If anybody's out there struggling, there's always hope. I spent most of my life not wanting to be here anymore. And then finally I realized the only person standing in my way was me. There's always hope. There's always a way out. I've been down for way too long, singing sad songs about a naked heart, a joint in my hand to ease my mind. And so far I guess we're doing all right. Yes, we are. Well, I fought hard to stay alive. If it wasn't for my kids, I'd already died. And this whole world will steal your soul, make your heart as dark as Kentucky cold. And I ain't dead yet, no plans to die. At least for right now, I'm gonna stay alive. There is beauty sometimes we can't see, that the beautiful parts are you and me. Yeah, the beautiful parts you and me. Well, I've seen those I love meet an early death, to the drug of choice, a rifle lead. Love in this world can wax so cold. It sure ain't a place for a heart of gold. But I ain't dead yet, no plans to die. At least for right now, I'm gonna stay alive. There is beauty that sometimes we can't see, that the beautiful parts are you and me. Yeah, the beautiful parts are you and me. Yes, they are. Woo!
Those are some great songs, and I guess I really liked that song, but I don't know if I really heard all the lyrics in it. And so what are the beautiful parts?
So the song is about us being the beautiful parts.
Oh, okay.
That we are.
Yeah.
That the chorus is, but I ain't dead yet, no plans to die. As of right now, I'm going to stay alive, because there is beauty that sometimes we can't see, and the beautiful parts are you and me. And
Okay.
so it's about that. Even though we see all this darkness and all these different things, that it's really the interaction between me and you and everybody else. Like this interaction is what we're living for. Is really is this moment where we're together, whether it's music or whatever it is. It's that interconnection of that's what I was trying to get across.
Yeah, nice. Well, I appreciate that, and I also appreciate the sort of words of encouragement you give to people who are suffering with sort of, emotional and mental issues. I guess I'm wondering. You say, and I know this is well intended. You say
Right.
Have hope.
Yeah.
Have hope. You can. You just came to realize that you were in your own way. But it seems that oftentimes what people need to hear, right, is they need to understand, well, how do you get to that place in your life where you receive, like, for instance, what's
Sure.
happening here, the exchange between people. How do you get to that point in your life? Who helped you get to that point where you listen to others, where you listen to yourself? Did you get help?
That's a good question. For me, I tried therapy, and I tried religion for years, and for me it was my kids. For me, when I could look at them and see their innocence, and I realized that's the way that I needed to be like. They're just they have so much love in them. They have so much, and I think that's kind of, it's almost like life is like you grow up to as you grow up, you kind of forget that aspect of, kids get up each day and they're like, life's gonna happen. They do their thing, and I think we slowly, as life comes and we have these dark parts that continue to fall, and we can stay there, or we can try to make the best out of what it is. And I think you have to finally go back and find those beautiful parts. Sometimes the beautiful parts of me and you is not beautiful. sometimes we don't see eye to eye, and sometimes we hurt each other, and even little kids can hurt each other. But to go back and have that and come back to that place like a child where you can look past that and find the things. If we look, I know sometimes it's so hard, and trust me, I struggled with ideation most of my life. Like most of my life, I was like, I don't want to live. And actually, a little while ago, I had a cancer scare, and there was a nodule inside my lung, and I went in for another procedure, and I went in and they did a CAT scan, and they found a nodule inside my lung, and most of my life I'm like, I don't want to be here anymore, and as I've kind of came out of those places I mentioned earlier, like that whole trying to find myself and coming out and realizing who I am and writing this music and getting this connection with my kids and my wife, I began to see the reason why I'm here. I began to see, and I was like, I don't want to be done. I don't want this to be the end. Long story short, they went back after a PET scan, this and that, and they didn't find any cancer. So
right.
I'm so thankful for that. And I know that's not always the case for everybody. And I don't mean to frivolously say, I'm the only one standing in my way. I don't mean to say that at all, because we're all in different spots. And trust me, if you'd have said that to me 10 years ago, I'd have said, get lost.
Sure. Yeah.
It's not that easy. But I finally had to go inward. I had to go inward and find and deal with the stuff, the pain from childhood, the PTSD that I have, the bipolar disorder, the mania that goes along with that. I had to begin to go internally and deal with it. Therapy is a great place to go. I've worked for many mental health agencies, but for me it was really going in and starting to deal with that stuff that was clogging everything up, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, way to go! Congratulations. I mean, it's a lot of work.
Yes.
And the work
I'm not there yet.
The work just continues, right?
It does.
Yeah. And so let's talk a little bit then about where we're headed now with our music. Sure. Does the new album sort of represent Northern Lights, represent a departure from where you've been? I mean, I see there's no fiddle here, for instance.
There isn't.
You got a banjo.
I did invite a fiddle player. I said if you make it, then they weren't able to. I love you, Lucy.
Oh, funny.
You know her a little bit.
I do know her. Yeah.
I said if you could make. I asked her earlier on, and I said if you could. I said even this week, if you could just show up, you got the place. But she
well, as you might know, she's sick. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I love you. But anyway, but yeah, that we still have a fiddle occasionally in and out. But rock was always what I started with. That's what when I picked up my first guitar was electric guitar. It definitely wasn't acoustic. I didn't grow. The first thing I didn't play was bluegrass. The first thing I started to play was, I think the first song I learned was Satisfaction. I learned the and that was the first thing I ever picked out. And so rock was, and then the '90s explosion was kind of the beginning of all that. And so I didn't like country music when I was a kid. I grew up with it. I worked at the IGA, and they played '90s country all the time, and I absolutely despised it. And then it's weird. At some point, it switched back around, and I was like, "This stuff's actually pretty good." And I asked her, I remember when he was young, he's like, "Dude, Dad, I hate this." And then recently, he's been saying, "God, Dad, I love country music. I love country music." I finally got it that there's something special about country music. There's something very intimate about country music. You can, and just a guy with a guitar and getting to that. I mean, it goes back to that beautiful parts that I mentioned earlier, and how that there's some I don't even know how to put it into words. You got words for it? He's like no, but anyway, so yeah.
So is this so my question, I guess, is the new album production, instrumentation,
Sure.
A departure from what you did on your last album?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So the last album was I got with the guy with Pine Castle Records, and he helped me pretty much record a lot of that at his house. And his name was Tony Ray. He did all the production, and we had a fiddle player, Tim Crouch, come out and did fiddle, and we put that out. And it was a great album. It was a beautiful album. But then Asher started getting. The drumming started happening, and as the drumming started happening, it literally changed us. So I began to change. These songs are written kind of more bluegrassy, and we went into the studio with Greg, and he helped. He kind of helped push the rock thing. He's like, this needs a riff, and so we started putting a little more riffs into these songs than what they were at first. And before you know it, we have this. It's other than my voice, which is pretty, country, it's very indie rock all at the same time. It's indie.
You feel like you consider your voice real country?
I've lived in the Midwest enough. I guess maybe that's the problem. Because when I go to the Midwest, they're like, your country is cornbread. But
you're just basing that on your Southern accent. That's all.
I guess that's it. But Northern Lights though is a departure musically from what it was, and also. Just the concept of it is, I would be driving on those roads in Minnesota on the way home. I put myself through school, and this was before Asher was even around, and I would see those Northern Lights, and I always thought they were so beautiful, and it was a sign of hope, and that's what this album's about. It's a departure from everything into a new world for me, a new world for the band, a new world and also some hope that. Maybe we're stepping out of some of the dark years.
It sounds like, these places had a pretty profound impact on you in those years, even though I know it sounds like there was a lot of difficulty in them. There was also a lot of, birth. I mean, the birth of children.
Right.
And the experiences you and your wife had together working through struggles, which is how you get strong.
100%. That's what it's about. It's also about revisiting those places, but also seeing how you can grow from those places too. Do you ever feel like you want to do you feel that some of those places are second homes for you? Nebraska, Minnesota. Totally. Tara's family and I'm really close to Tara's family. Her dad and her mom, her stepmother. I just love them. They're like my own family. And
where do they live?
They live, so Tara's dad and stepmother live up, it's like, what's the name of the town, Asher? It's northern Minnesota. I don't remember what they've not lived there for super long, but it's a town up in northern Minnesota, and then her mother lives in Wisconsin. It was always whenever I really got into music outside of the church was in Minneapolis. I was living in Minneapolis, and I played in a band called the Dead Flowers. which is also a song from an album, Sticky Fingers, that Moonlight Mile is on. And so what I came, that band was kind of centered around that idea of the Rolling Stones with like the country rock Rolling Stones, and that's what I wanted to. That's also the continuation of this part of Moonlight Mile, is that it's that Stones sort of country but rock thing. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, how much fun it's been to hear you all play and to meet all of the new band members and to meet you, Asher. Yeah, great sounding stuff. So we got some more music to go.
Yes.
Right? All right. Welcome back, Moonlight Mile.
We actually did this song last time we were on here. It's changed a lot. It's still about old cousin Otis, a song called Up in These Hills. Up in these hills, who's all who you know. You never move up unless your daddy is also so. Get caught dealing those pills, we might as well kiss it goodbye. 'Cause there's folks around here let you rot in the Grange till you die. Up in these hills where the grass is so green, whether you're a fire-spitting preacher or shooting that old amphetamine, well, up in these hills, it's an eye for an eye. You might find a rest for your dear soul. But in these hills, you're gonna die. Find a rest for your soul, baby. But in these hills you're gonna die. Would you spare me over till another year? Would you spare me over till another year? Would you spare me over till another year? Someone would pray. Wait to call me another damn day. Preacher pray, the children sing. Yeah, the world both have to claim. Well, what is this that you can't see? With ice cold hands taking hold of me. Well, this is death, none can excel. I hold the door to heaven or hell. The soul, leave the body and leave it cold. Drop the flesh off of the frame. The earth and the worm both have a claim. Would you spare me over till another year? 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 used to run these hills about 90 miles an hour, smoking and a drinking and shooting out the light. But the day you came to town, well, honey, you'd never been around. Dirt cheap and easy to find. Dirt cheap, hey, easy to find. Well, the government had its hand over in Afghanistan, throwing poppy, selling it to the poor. Well, another young one died before our virgin eyes on a fentanyl. I kill a floor on a fentanyl. I kill the floor. Take me back to Sandy Hook, Mr. Joe Bowling. And there's money to be made on the backs of us, the slaves. It's the same old song, just a different time. We're working on Maggie's farm and another needle in our arm. They keep winning while we all die. They keep winning while we die. Another precious life tonight. Heroin, heroin. All you leave behind is a dusty bone. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Heroin, how you haunt these hills like a ghoul. Heroin, heroin, gone away in a twinkle of an eye. Gone away in a twinkle of an eye.
are many people to thank for our broadcast. First, Jonathan Pennington and Moonlight Mile, our guests on this program. We want to thank all of you for listening to our webcast, watching us on social media, and those listening to us on our growing network of Red Barn stations and media worldwide. Thanks to WEKU, Red Barn's premier radio partner, Central and Eastern Kentucky's radio news leader. You can listen online at weku.org. It's your chance to hear more great live music from Red Barn Radio and WEKU, NPR for Central and Eastern Kentucky. Those of you here in the Central Kentucky area, be sure to check out Red Barn TV, won't you? It's our weekly program of music, now on ABC 36 WTVQ and the Red Barn Radio YouTube channel. Red Barn Radio comes to you from our home, the Lex Arts Performance Hall, here in the great city of Lexington, Kentucky. Our website has updates and further information on our guests and our program. We are on the web at redbarnradio.com. Remember, check out that merch link, too. Tell your friends about that. Before we close out the program, let's bring back Jonathan Pennington and Moonlight Mile for one more tune.
Song's called Honey. Dylan Rising, everybody. Yeah, honey, will you tell me the truth? Do you believe in little old me, girl? Yeah, I found much more than I rightly ever see. Just when I think it might all be alright, yeah, I find myself out there shaking in the dark cold night. Yeah, for years I tried to slow me down. I ain't never spaced down. I ain't gonna win this fight tonight. Gonna be alright, 'cause honey, gonna chase these dreams. Got this full tank of gasoline. Honey, you know I act so tough. I ain't never been good enough. And I tell Appalachia follows that old saying. Honey, they ain't gonna stop Joe Bowling. Yeah, for years you tried to slow me down. I ain't never had space now. They ain't gonna win this fight tonight. Gonna be alright, 'cause honey, gonna chase these dreams. Got this full tank of gasoline. Honey, you know I act so tough, but I ain't never been good enough. And I said, Appalachia falls in that old sea. Honey, I ain't gonna stop, man. Hey, hey, hey. I ain't gonna stop. stop me, little girl. Thank y'all so much.
Well, all right. Well, that's all for our show for this week, folks. Remember, you can see and hear Red Barn Radio worldwide as we stream live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern in North America. Listeners, it's always great to hear from you. If you enjoy Red Barn Radio, take just a moment. Want you to engage with us. Your comments, your sharing, your choice to subscribe, all keeps us growing and continuing our mission to bring roots music, Southern style, to your neck of the woods and beyond. And now we bid you good night. Let's stick together. Let's appreciate each other. And let's join up again for another great evening of music and conversation on Red Barn Radio. I'm Bradford Becker. See you soon.